I might pick it up. How do I get into it? You can. I would. It's been a while since I ran Sledge. Techno Fuzzy. Ooh. I would say it depends on how you want to play Metatron. You could play. You know, there's so many. Well, there's a lot of ways that you could play Sledge. You could play it with Goo Gun and try to win most 1v1 fights. But the reason why I don't like Goo Gun is because if you're playing 1v2, oh, these guys, I'll leave so they can play. If you're playing 1v2 with Goo Gun, if you're playing 1v2 with Goo Gun, you can sort of get into trouble. You might be able to like get one kill and then goo a person off to block that. The rule of running Sledge is you need to buy the lollipop skin first. It is one of my favorite skins, Techno Fuzzy. It is. But yeah, Metatron, Goo Gun, I would play completely differently, and I would generally. Oh, not this. Don't report me for. But basically, what you'll want to do is you want to either if they see you, you can engage with Dome Shield so you can close the distance. Then you can lock bolt, goo the lock bolt so they can't shoot this. This cannot get shot. This cannot get glitched. So this is safe. So Goo Gun is very strong with lock bolt. And then you can just lock people in place while you close the gap and then hit them. The problem that I don't like is that when you do this, say if this is the other enemy, you're still versing this other enemy. And so those fights are very difficult with Goo Gun. But yeah, so the one thing that's very nice is that the Goo Gun and the lock bolt have the same trajectory. So if you would like, you can literally just stand still, shoot 2, press Q, shoot 1, and then it will land in the exact same spot because it shares the same arc and trajectory. So you don't have to like aim it from far away. So if you want to engage from super far away, or if you want to help your teammates, just literally, I'll wait till this reloads. But you reload it, shoot. The Goo Gun has bloom, but there you go. There's slight bloom on the Goo Gun. You can see it. But yeah, so it blocks it right away, so they can't shoot it, and your team can follow up. So that's generally what you kind of want to do with Goo Gun, is that you can win pretty much every single 1v1. I mean, this is gonna get changed eventually. But what you want to do, shoot, lock them in place, shoot, lock them in place. So it's you can win every single 1v1, but it's a lot slower, but Goo Gun is superior in that regards. However, I don't like playing that way because I prefer to play with Winch because you can end the fights a lot faster. So same idea here. As soon as I'm within 12 meters, I can immediately winch this guy. If I have a heavy on my right, barricade is the fastest deployment. Don't do goo if you want to block line of sight. Obviously, it depends where you are. But when you're engaging 2 different people, barricade, winch, and then as soon as you right click, you want to hit slide. You right click, and then you slide. And so that keeps your momentum so that if you winch them over, and they run, you can still keep that movement. So this is, I'll go here. So this is me running. So I kind of stop right here. But if you go and slide, you're about 1 meter past that, which is the make or break distance. I use Dome instead of Goo. Dome is really good with Goo Gun, but I prefer Barricade and Goo Grenade. No Dome Shield with Sledgehammer. And so basically, immediately cut the line of sight because the Barricade is so fast. Engage, slide, go, and then what you can do, and what I have done frequently, is that as soon as you kill that one person, you get the heavy in place, and then you follow it up. So basically, you're stopping their movement. You goo beside them. They're blocked. That was a bad goo. Sometimes it's a little bit easier with these barrels, but that's how you can kind of chain kills if people launch on you. But if there's a token, then what you can do is you can block it, and if they get defibbed or res, then this is a free kill. They have nowhere to run, right? But that's exactly what you want to do right there, is barrel them and then right click them, because they can't move, they can't dash, and you just instantly kill them. Like that. Very, 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 very strong. Very strong. So you want to Sledge with right click a lot? Absolutely. If you do not slide, look how slow your movement is. Now if you jump, slide, you get that extra movement. So I'll jump slide here. I can hit that guy from here. And then that's how far. But I could hit him with that other way. So it is only 1 meter, but that would have hit if I connected him. We'll go from this side. But basically, jumps. Look how far you get. That's what happens when you just regular jump. And then if you just slide, you don't get that much space. So what you want to do is sprint, jump, right click, slide. And that gets your most distance. You're always going to want to jump, because your jumping conserves your movement, because as soon as you right click, you slow down. As soon as you right click, you slow down. But if you jump in the air, you conserve your movement. So as soon as you hit jump, you want to hit right click. And then when you're in the air, you just press C, and then you will slide. And there you go. So follow this up. Just like that. That's your bread and butter right there with Sledge. That's your bread and butter. And so just to show you, I think I think I just posted it on Reddit, but that's probably yeah, so basically always, this is one thing that you want to do, is you always want to carry a barrel. Almost always, if you are a winch. If you're a winch person, you always want to carry a barrel. You can kind of say the same thing with goo, but it's more important to carry a barrel when you're a winch. Because this, if I hit someone with a direct contact with this, a plant, a barrel, or whatever, a chair, it'll do 50 damage. 50 to 70, depending on what you throw at them. So if I hit a light with a barrel, I can immediately winch them and left click to secure the kill. So you almost always want to open a fight. And then you can see how valuable goo grenade is here. But the light is glitched, the light can't dash, the light is dead. Left click, I missed my winch. But there's this slide technique right here. So I slide to conserve my movement to get the medium. The heavy's coming in on me. I cut line of sight immediately on the heavy. This is a rank game. This was yesterday. Was it yesterday? But yeah, so as soon as I secure this kill after sliding in Sledgehammer, I immediately barricade because I know the heavy's coming. And that could either block a winch, block some other utility, and then vault over it, jump, and then press slide while you're in the air so that you can conserve your momentum. But in this case, since I was already low, I'm at 200 life, I'm opening this fight on this heavy with the goo grenade. And what I want to do is I want to trap this heavy so I can get a free right click on him. So if you watch, as soon as I slide with the right hammer to get that extra 1 meter, this is the only reason why he died. If I walk towards this medium, I would not be able to hit him. But because I slide, I get that extra meter. I vault over barricade. He's goo blocked, followed up with 2 hammers. So that is generally, not every engagement is going to be like that, but that can show you how strong there's so many things that you can use at your disposal to win the fights. Yo, this is actually amazing. It's so much fun. This is a ranked game. This is, 35 to 45k rating. But yeah, so the reason why I was able to kill the light is because he was glitched. The reason why I was able to kill the medium is because I could slide right click. And the reason why I could kill the heavy was because I could goo. I could goo him in place for a free right click so he can't shoot me while he's blocked. So unfortunately, I did no damage because I hit beside. I hit beside the light, so I didn't hit him directly. So that sucked. But however, as soon as I glitched him, I can follow up with an easy right click, left click. That Winch should have hit, but I think it hit beside him or it hit the railing or something. I don't know. It was weird. Slide to kill, barricade, jump over. See, he immediately misses, what, like 4 shots? 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the shack only has 20 ammo. If I'm already starting the fight with him, 25% ammo gone, that's huge. Medium dead, barricade, jump over vault, goo beside him inside the dome so that he's blocked. He's still blocked. Follow up with a right click and another right click. But that's the kind of stuff that that you want to do. That's the kind of stuff that you kind of want to do with Sledgehammer. And so always goo them when you get the chance. Metatron, I have maybe 1,500 hours on this game, and I would say 50-50. I would say 50-50 because a lot of the engagements that I fight, I only have 1 goo grenade, and so if I miss my goo grenade, I'm dead. So it's extremely high risk, high reward. So a lot of the fights that I enter with, because let's say we win a fight, we go over to the cash out, we set up, and so I'm already down 1 goo. But let's just say in this building, this is why I like barricade and goo, is because I'm protected. I have an easy out here also to the window too. People can't see me from here. I can peek. If they're within 12 meters, I can winch them. As soon as they're winched, I can pull them behind barricades so they can't shoot me and then right click them. If they're within, I'll say 8 meters, I can't hit them through barricade because they can move. The winch stun is variable. So I'll just show you. It's probably easier on a dummy. The winch stun is variable, so if you pull them at 12 meters, they're stunned for, what is it, 0.65 seconds? And if you pull them at this height, this length, at 1 meter, 2 meters, they're barely even stunned. So what you can do on this guy right here, winch, pull him behind barricade, hit him through barricade. They cannot hit you, stun you, or do anything. So that's another tech that you can kind of do, is hit them through barricade like that. It's super strong. It's super strong if there's multiple enemies, because what you can do is, if obviously you can't see this guy right here, I'll just take this back. But let's just say I engage. There's 2 enemies that I see right here. I immediately barricade 1, split the line of sight, goo him, and then hit him through. If I miss, then I can follow up with an RPG, or I can goo beside him like this to cut line of sight this way, and this is free. This, cutting line of sight like this, is way more valuable than Dome. Way more valuable than Dome. And then in buildings, what I generally try to do is set up so that every engagement is within 12 meters. You can also set up really funny engagements, so generally people might feel safe behind here. So if the cash out's right here, what I can do is barricade, you can goo, so you can either jump towards it. There might be certain scenarios where you can't get up. If it's still too high, you can either knock the ledge off or you can also barricade. I do this technique often, and then you can jump up. And people don't suspect it because people can't hear your vault animation. This, undetectable. Running and sprinting is detectable. So generally what I do in multiple buildings is set up slightly different holes so that I can traverse, slide, traverse, and get up to high ground very quickly, very efficiently, within 12 meters of most ledges, and they can't hear this. The problem is that generally the middle of the roof of like this is not good unless you know exactly where you want to engage from. If you hear people, your cues are going to be audio and visual from outlines. So when I'm playing, I'm constantly watching my teammates. So you can kind of see the red outline right here. You can see exactly where the guy is shooting, right? Well, it's the same with your teammates. You can see exactly, obviously it doesn't work on dummies, but you can see exactly where they're shooting from. So if my teammates are in this building, I can tell if they're looking on the third floor, on the first floor. I can tell if what pocket they're looking at. So what I can do is if I can see my teammate from down below shooting in this direction, then I know they're going to be roughly in this corner. So I can either drop them or I can go up, and this is safe. This is safe because my back is towards the wall and I drop them. For sure, that's a good tip. Yeah. So you drop them. Now, the reason why I say you really don't want to do this unless you're extremely confident is because if I hammer this and let's say it's still 3v3, if I engage like this and two people are on the roof, you're dead. You're dead every time in high rankings. It doesn't matter if you barricade one, winch the other, you're dead. You're split between two people. You can't cover both. You can't cover both. If there's only one person on the roof, you might be okay. So sometimes what it's better to do is split the difference. This is really close, like within 5 meters of this ledge. So if there's two people in this distance, I can easily barricade. If someone's right here, then I'm also closer to dropping off. But if I crawl up in the middle, I'm toast. Yeah, sure, you can jump back down, but they can easily just gun you. But at least if I go up top here, I can kind of contest one person. I could quickly barricade, winch, and pull the other person off. Right click, left click, and then go inside, goo, barricade, whatever you want to do. But generally, yes, you do want to goo people. Most chances you get, but a lot of the times I'm making my own maze. A lot of times I'm making my own maze to force people to go a certain way. So for example, like lights, mediums, heavies, whoever, they can't tell if I'm behind here. So what I'll often do is set up multiple different barricades. You can do two things. You can go before or after the window. You can go like this. It is a little risky. I kind of like to go on the window side. So this is, well, if this is like almost 100% safe. Easy engagements. If a light goes through here, then you're pretty much covered on most bases. Like I said, the moment you get one kill, you generally want to guard their body, or at a minimum, when you kill them, you want to barricade goo. So let's say you kill someone, barricade their token, goo, and then you can hide. You can hide in the other, and if they get defibbed or res, there's nowhere to go. You can engage at this side angle, and then it's free. It's a free kill. So it's all about those isolated 1v1s. You can, yeah, if you can. The goal of Winch is to end the fight as fast as possible. End the fight, meaning end your engagement. The faster you can end your engagement, the better it can be for your team to capitalize on that. So with Winch, hit someone, barricade, set up, do whatever you gotta do. Limit movement for enemies. You wanna make it as hard as possible for enemies to get their teammates, and deny them where you can. So what I would typically do is I would kill one person, set up, or let's say I don't have my winch, I only have one goo. I feel confident with one goo and one barricade. If I have only goo, I am not confident unless I can guarantee that I can be right below someone like this and get them while they're rezzing. I do not engage because you need at least one goo and barricade. If you're fighting a light, you should be able to win every single 1v1 engagement. At least 85% against a light. So what that will look like is you'll engage, barricade, whatever. You never really want to goo a light because they just dash kind of out of it. So you'll always want to goo a medium and then do your slide tech. But with lights, you'll almost always be able to secure yours with a left click. You can melee if you want. I don't like meleeing because it's too slow to switch, and they usually dash out. So if they have dash, winch, melee, immediately swap to RPG. And that will guarantee most light kills. A lot of the times, you want to keep track of dashes. So if you hear dashes, keep track in your mind. If they don't have, dash, or if they have cloak, then you can easily just charge a right click and slide. But most lights will be left click, immediately swap to RPG. Left click, immediately swap to RPG. They'll go dash, dash. They will dash as many times as they can. So you want to wait 0.3, 0.4 seconds between your winch. You want to wait 0.3, 0.4 seconds and then shoot it generally fast. Because what they will do is they will either dash once or dash twice. So hit him once, and then RPG. Because you don't want to RPG right away, because if I try to RPG right away, right at the... I mean, obviously you do self-damage from this height, but... or this distance. But what they will do is they will dash away, so then just wait. Hold out RPG, dash, dash, secure the kill. And then you can go away, you can goo their bodies, so that it's a little bit easier for you to defend, block line of sight. This amount of cover is extremely valuable.